because he is a representative of the Russian opposition, but not just the Russian opposition, political opposition. He believes that only armed resistance is going to achieve something in Russia. So Ilya, tell us, he wrote a very good piece for Jamestown Foundation a couple of weeks ago. We published, actually last week we published. It is available on Jamestown website, and it is about the state of the Russian opposition and what we can expect in the future from the current Russian opposition. Thank you, Ilya. Why do you think that armed resistance is the only way?
Well, if you use the word opposition, and the answer to your question is nothing. Because to me there is opposition and there is resistance. And these are two different things. And they have different objectives, different vision, different structure, different people. And if you say opposition, so their best dream is to return to 90s and continue where it stopped with Yeltsin, because they see that Putin is a counter-revolution, which to me is not, because to me Putin is a logical continuation of what Yeltsin was doing. And we saw it with the modern Russian imperialism. You know, it started with Chechnya in 1994, it continued, Medvedev showed the same in 2008, and it now continues the same with Putin with Ukraine. So, you know, people change, but the methods and the approaches, they keep the same. And to me, if at the helm of the government would be just any representative of the useful, you know, conventional for the West Russian opposition, you know, it would still be the same. Because of what they say and how they do and what their ideals, it still would be the same. It would be softer, you know, it would be nicer, you know, it would be with the nice dressing, but in the foundation it would be the same. And here I wanted very much to pick up where Pani Anna has stopped in her speech, that her dream is Russia to be defeated. It was like, what, 10 days ago, there was a visit here in Washington, D.C. by Chancellor Merz. And they were sitting with President Trump, and Trump was like patting him on the shoulder and saying, condolences, you know, it's an anniversary of the D-Day, so probably it's a bad day for you. And he said, no, it's a holiday for me, because that's the day when the liberation of my country has started. So it's not about defeat of Germany or defeat of Russia. I totally share the vision that Russia Federation needs to be defeated and destroyed, because that's the oppressive state for Russians, not for any other, not only for all other nations which surround Russia, not only for nations who are inside Russia, but it's the oppressor for Russians. And that's why it needs to be destroyed, because it's dangerous for everyone. And we're even coming to these discussions of, God forbid, nuclear war, which means just everybody is gonna die. And that's the immediate threat that is being presented there. So my vision here is very simple, that this country should be gone, this regime needs to be changed, these elites need to be changed, and then the new state should be created. And all the captive nations should be let free, and those who want to go, they need to be able to go and live the way they want. Those who don't want to go should be given an option to participate in the construction of the new statehood at the principles they want. And that's as simple as that. And that's the vision of our Congress of People's Deputies and the general of the people from the arm of the opposition that I represent. To conclude, I very much wanted to comment on several previous questions. We even wrote a report which you saw, and it's available online, on the stability of Russia. To me, definitely, this state is a colossus on the clay legs. And those legs are made of clay because the right leg is called Vladimir and the left leg is called Putin. This whole statehood is deprived of all institutions, which to me was brilliantly proved when they had this democracy with Medvedev at power, but the power stayed not with the presidency, but with Putin. And the whole system inside Russia, it also has a lot of checks and balances, and the governors, and Duma, and different elites, and the business people, and whatever. But nevertheless, it's centered on one particular person, which is the ultimate arbiter. And the good news is that this guy is mortal. So he would be gone anyway. And when people in this town are asking me, you were talking about regime change, but what we would do, a lot of risk, the next guy could be worse. I said, yeah, it could be worse, but it could happen anyway. He's gonna die. Even from natural reasons, he's gonna die, so it would be change. So we need to embrace and plan and influence so that changes would happen in the right direction. And Putin actually, by making the large-scale invasion in Ukraine, actually prompted everybody to take action. Because right now it's just dangerous to sit and to do nothing. And the first countries which started to realize this is the countries of Eastern Europe, because they are next. Poland, Baltic states, they are too close. So the threat there is at the highest. Thanks for Mr. Trump, now all other European nations, they start to wake up. Because they now understand that they have to rely on themselves. There will be no outside umbrella to protect them, which is really good. And here, obviously, the key role will be played by Germany. But just imagine, how many things have Putin done for this clay legs to collapse. It was him who facilitated the expansion of NATO. It was him who supported remilitarization of Europe. It was him who was pushing all the traditional Russian allies outside the sphere of influence, and that now they are shy to even stand up in the United Nations and vote for the resolutions that Russia suggests. So I think that this regime is very fragile, and we need to exploit the opportunity and act. Thank you.
Thank you, Ilya. I would like to turn to Paul Gobel again.